for staying with us. We now shine a spotlight on this. An upcoming episode of the YouTube talk show The Shop Uninterrupted has been scrapped after Kanye West allegedly used hate speech and extremely dangerous stereotypes in another interview. The American rapper had shared a series of comments based on racist conspiracy theories in a separate interview with Fox News. Fox has since removed those segments before broadcast, but the footage was leaked to technology website Motherboard. Kanye, who is legally known as Ye, was recently also suspended from Instagram and Twitter for making anti-Semitic comments. And joining me now from Hadera in central Israel to help break this down is Noah Shufutinsky, an education and outreach manager at StandWithUs, and Jewish rapper Westside Gravy. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm glad to be here.
I have to get to the blunt question. Is Kanye West an anti-Semite?
So I think judging from the fact that the language that he used, both on Twitter as well as conspiracy theories that he echoed in the interview on Fox News, it relied on anti-Semitic tropes that have been around for generations, that have been used to incite violence, murder, and even genocide, and continue to do so. And he stood by those comments from what we've seen. Therefore, I would say yes.
Well, not just an anti-Semite, but possibly a white supremacist. During his show at Paris Fashion Week, he also wore a T-shirt carrying the slogan, "White Lives Matter," which sparked backlash for siding with white supremacists. The African-American community in the United States is particularly outraged.
Yeah, so I think that is something that definitely has been a conversation regarding Kanye West's recent comments in the past several years regarding aspects of the Black community. In which he spoke, even in the past, claiming that slavery was slavery was a choice, and made disparaging comments about the legacy of Harriet Tubman, who was an abolitionist who helped many slaves escape enslavement in the South, going to the North and even all the way to Canada. And I think that continuing to create this sort of controversy has just created more issues and stirred up more controversy regarding his name and opinions on issues that affects the Black community and discuss Black American history.
There's also an argument that because he perhaps suffers from bipolar disorder, he's mentally unwell. But others claim that he is 100% in his right mind and is doing so to make maybe a statement. What's your opinion? Which is it?
So I think first and foremost, it's important to recognize that there are millions of people who have bipolar disorder who do not engage in bigotry or anti-Semitism. That being said, it's important to recognize that, he may not be mentally stable or not, or he may be mentally stable or not. That being said, the tropes that he said were symptoms of bigotry and anti-Semitism, not of mental health or behavioral health issues. So I think that it's important that we don't use mental health as an excuse to not call out bigotry, anti-Semitism, and racism when we see it in our society.
Which begs the question, should social media giants be responsible for people who seemingly need help? Is this within their jurisdiction or not at all?
So I think that when it comes to social media companies, they have sets of guidelines, community guidelines and rules and regulations for their users. And if he was seen to have violated those guidelines, then it would make sense that there's an argument that they're within their rights to regulate that accordingly. And if the language that he used, in which case it was, incited violence and was in fact offensive, and I would go as far as saying it wasn't allegedly, it was absolutely anti-Semitic rhetoric, then they are able to take action against that, to call it out. And I think it's important for us to not only leave it on social media giants to do so, but to make sure we're proactive about sharing the Jewish story, sharing our own identity and defining that for ourselves, and calling out this anti-Semitic bigotry for what it is, which is dangerous.
Sometimes seems like we have to take things into our own hands. Noah Shufutinsky, an education and outreach manager at StandWithUs, and Jewish rapper Westside Gravy. Thank you so much for all your time today.
Thank you.